Hey mom, today made me more aware of how much my day is governed by routines that function like underlying code, shaping my reactions before I even consciously register what's happening. As I moved through the normal rhythm of school, I could see how certain habits fired off almost immediately. How I settle into the pace of the morning, how I respond to interruptions, and how I transition between tasks without thinking. These reactions felt like scripts written long ago, still running faithfully whether or not they reflect who I'm becoming now. Observing them with more distance made the day feel like a live debugging session, where I wasn't just acting out the routines, but watching them execute line by line. That separation made them feel less fixed. Instead of seeing these habits as a static part of my personality, I saw them as editable instructions. Code I could rewrite whenever the current version stops moving me in the direction I want to go. Throughout the day, I also become more aware of the inputs that shape my internal system. Every interaction, every moment of stillness, and every choice about what to pay attention to acts like the data feeding into the larger program of my thinking. Watching how quickly my internal state shifts based on these inputs made the relationship between input quality and output clarity feel much more immediate. Even subtle decisions, like what I allow myself to think about during quiet moments, what media I glance at between tasks, and how I mentally frame a difficult part of the day, changed the tone of my thinking almost instantly. It reinforced that my internal processing isn't random. It responds directly to the nature of what I let in. Being more deliberate with those inputs sharpens the whole system, while letting low quality or scattered inputs slip in makes everything feel more reactive and cluttered. Layered onto all of this is the new script I'm writing around content creation and sharing my life online. Recording my journey and reflecting on it publicly adds another dimension to this internal programming. It forces me to think not only about what I experience, but how I interpret it, organize it, and present it as part of a larger narrative. In this way, this process has become its own form of metacognition, an external mirror that helps me see the code I'm running more clearly. Creating content requires me to slow down, contextualize my thoughts, and articulate the meaning behind the moments that would normally blur together. It makes me more deliberate about the inputs I choose and the scripts I let keep running. It also introduces a new kind of input, the accountability of an audience, even if the audience is still small. That subtle awareness influences how I read my own day, not in a performative way, but in a reflective one. It pushes me to be clearer about what I value, more intentional about what I focus on, and more honest about the patterns I want to keep or change. Sharing my life online becomes both a mirror and a tool, helping me see what's actually happening under the surface. What ties all of this together is the realization that I'm not simply navigating the day as it comes. I'm actively designing the architecture behind it. I'm the user moving through each moment, reacting and adjusting in real time. But I'm also the programmer, capable of updating the system that shapes those reactions. That dual role makes the small decisions throughout the day feel more meaningful. Choosing to pause before responding, reframing a moment that would usually trigger frustration, or noticing a habit before it runs on autopilot becomes a small edit to the code. Over time, they shift the operating system I run on, creating new defaults that reflect who I'm becoming rather than who I used to be. And with each small adjustment, I'm refining the internal system that shapes my thinking and the external story I share with the world. I ate dinner with the Coefficient. That was it for my day. Okay, love you. Bye.